Well, hello YouTubers, hello Facebook people, hello Twitter people, and hello LinkedIn people. This is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with you today. Well, today we're going to talk about the great goddess Isis. And we're going to talk about her specifically in her Greco-Roman aspect. You're going to say, Bob, what is a Greco-Roman aspect to the goddess Isis? Well, let me explain. Now, as you can see here, we have Isis in her Egyptian form. Many of you have seen this image of Isis. This is what most people think of. She's usually done in gold. She has an Egyptian headdress on, and you can see her crown here with the solar disk and the horns. This is Isis in her Egyptian form. So as you can see, this form of Isis is the one that is probably the most known. But the Emperor Alexander decided to go and explore Egypt. And when he moved into Egypt with his Grecian troops, he discovered that the Egyptians already had their own religion. He was very impressed by this. And many of the soldiers and sailors at the time from Greece decided to take some of the Egyptian religion and bring it back to Greece. So Isis, being a predominant goddess, traveled across the seas back to Egypt, where she was introduced to the Greek people. Now, when Isis came back to Greece, her form looked a little foreign, so the Grecian priests that loved Isis decided to kind of give her a little bit of a makeover so she'd fit in a little better. So, the great goddess Isis changed her look, and she went from this to this. Now, as you can see here, this form of Isis is very fascinating because she has, instead of the giant horns with the solar disk, they've made a small little diadem with the solar disk and the horns. Sometimes they put acanthus leaves or wheat sheaves also in the diadem. She's wearing a beautiful veil and also a long Grecan toga, very much like the upper class would wear. Over in her hand here, she's holding some wheat sheaves. Sometimes she holds a sistrum. Sistrum is a rattle from Egypt. But many of the people of Greece decide to identify her with the goddess Demeter. And so she took on many of Demeter's qualities, and here she holds a wheat sheaf. Some of you have written to me and you've said, Bob, I'm interested in the goddess Isis, but I really work more with the Roman and Greek pantheons. How do I incorporate Isis into my altar? Well, you're in luck because Isis did span the Greek Empire as well as the Roman Empire. And if you want, you can worship her in her Greco-Roman form. She didn't change much between Greece and Rome, so sometimes a picture of her, it may be Grecian or it could be Roman. Anyways, I've set up a little altar here. For my altar, let me just give you a little tour here. On each side of the goddess here, I have flanking beautiful vases. Now, these are Wedgwood vases. Wedgwood porcelain is a British porcelain. A lot of people have Wedgwood in their homes. It goes back to the 1700s. And my vases here, I dug them out of my closet and said, wow, you know, these would look great on a Greco-Roman altar. Wedgwood is famous for its famous Greco-Roman scenes. So to honor the goddess, I've set up two vases here. I also found a little Wedgwood box, which I've put incense in. And as you can see, I just store my cone incense in here. And that works wonderfully for that. I also have here another little Wedgwood box. And this is just a simple little offering box that I like to put prayers in, or if you want to make an offering, you can store your gifts to the goddess in this box. Incenser and a candle. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be complex. Greco-Roman temples tended to be very clean-lined and very simple. So you don't have to have a lot of fluff. If you notice, this altar is very simple, very clean-lined. And I've used simply the top of a fireplace. Down here is my fireplace. fireplace mantle to set up my altar. Now, offerings to Isis were actually very simple. Most people simply offered incense and a little light. So we have our candle going, and we're going to offer a cone of incense to the goddess. So we'll take our cone and we'll light it. We're going to put it here in our holder, and we'll let it burn just for a moment. Then we can blow it out. And that will get the incense going. So you want to offer to the goddess a little incense. I happen to have sandalwood, but you can offer any type that you feel called to. Offer your prayers and sit for a few moments before the great goddess Isis. Tell her of all your needs, tell her of your concerns, your fears, and let her show her motherly aspect to you. It's said that Isis is more mother than queen. It's true she's a queen, but she approaches her devotees as a loving mother. In her hand you'll notice the beautiful shaft of wheat. This is nourishment that is given to her devotees, sustenance, and a promise that things will be okay. For those of you who are interested in learning more about Isis, particularly in her Roman aspect, you might want to do research on the city of Pompeii. There's an amazing temple that was uncovered there to the goddess Isis. Isis's worship in Rome was interestingly met. It started with some persecution. A lot of people thought, oh, we don't want a foreign goddess coming in. But then eventually they softened and the establishment embraced her, and Isis became one of the most beloved deities. If you'd like to learn more about the history of Isis in the Greco-Roman world, as well as in the Egyptian times, I recommend this book. It's called The Mysteries of Isis by De Tracy Regula. It's a Llewellyn publication. Highly recommend it. Covers everything you want to know about the goddess. Talks about her temples between Egyptian times, her temples in Roman times. Talks about gemstones associated with her. Gives some spells, magic, food offerings, everything you could want to know about Isis you'll find in this book. So today I made this just a simple little video just to kind of introduce you to the Roman Isis, or the Greco-Roman Isis I should say. But if you want to get more in depth, check out this book. Many of you also know that I'm a member of the Fellowship of Isis, and I recommend you doing exploration of the Fellowship of Isis. I'm currently reading a book called The Call of Isis, and this is by Lady Olivia Robertson, who is one of the founders of the Fellowship of Isis. This is her life story, and it talks about her experiences in discovering the great goddess. Wonderful book. The Fellowship of Isis is a wonderful group. I did a previous video about them. I'll put the link below for that if you want to learn more about that. But I recommend both of these books, The Mystery of Isis, as well as this book, The Call of Isis. And you can learn about working with the great goddess. I'm so glad you guys are here. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. You know we've always got more videos coming. And of course, you know we'll have messages from the spirit world later this week. So tune back in on Thursday. But we'll see you then. Thanks for being here. Blessings to all of you.